Hi, so today we're going to read The Hare and the Tortoise. The hare was always boasting about how fast he could run. I'm the fastest animal in the land, he would say. One day, the hare asked, "Who will run a race against me?" The other animals were fed up with the hare boasting, but no one would accept his challenge for fear of losing. No one except the tortoise. Ha! The hare laughed out loud. The other animals, they just gasped. The tortoise, he smiled. Preparations for the race began. The fox drew up a map of the route, and the race was to take place the following week. So here it is. You've got your start line and you've got your finish line. You have to go all the way around. For the next 7 days, the hare showed off, speeding around the meadows, dashing up the hills, knocking animals over and upsetting just about everyone. The tortoise, he just watched from afar as he chewed leisurely on grass and leaves. Look, he's just like, okay, you keep showing off. I'm going to eat my healthy food. The night before the race, the tortoise went to bed early, smiling as the sun went down. Early to bed, early to rise, he said to himself. Meanwhile, the hare stayed up late, partying with his neighbours, the badgers. But their noisy antics kept everyone awake. People aren't happy with him. The next day dawned, bright and sunny, and the tortoise awoke fresh and full of energy. He ate a hearty breakfast, then got ready for the race. So he had himself some carrots and some lettuce, and he was like, yes, I'm ready for this. The hare wasn't feeling quite so refreshed. His late night meant he had hardly slept at all. He felt exhausted. He poured himself a large glass of carrot juice and he yawned so loudly. Look. Oh. Out in the meadows, the animals were gathering for the race. So you've got your start line, and you've got your tortoise and your hare, and they're ready for the race. There were stalls selling cakes and sandwiches. Balloons and bunting had been tied to the trees. A party atmosphere was building. Everyone was so excited about this race. It was nice to have something to look forward to. At last, it was time for the race to start. Feeling more like his usual self, the hare took his place at the start line. Get ready to lose, he said to the tortoise. That was not very nice. The tortoise just smiled. He didn't seem at least bit worried. Then the fox began to count down to the race. On your marks. Get set. The whistle blew and they were off. The hare dashed away at full speed. He ran around the meadows, up the hill. He stopped to look back and saw that the tortoise was plodding along far behind him. Grinning, the hare danced a little jig at the hilltop. So here he is, and you could see that the tortoise was miles behind him. As he ran down the hill, the hare grabbed some crunchy lettuce from the field. He stopped for a mid-morning snack. Oh, yummy, he said. The sun was warm and he decided to have a short nap. After all, he'd had a late night and the tortoise was far behind him. In the meantime, the tortoise carried on up the hill and over the top. The hare was asleep under the tree. Look. Ooh. Wow. He saw the hare snoozing under the tree and he marched bravely past him. The hare didn't stir a whisker. Much later, feeling stiff and cold, the hare woke up with a start. He looked at the sun and he saw how low it was in the sky. It must be almost evening. He feared the worst. The hare flew around the rest of the route at top speed. He ran like he'd never run before. But in the distance he heard shouting and clapping and could just make out the tortoise nearing the finish line. With the finish line in sight and the crowd roaring him on, the tortoise staggered on as fast as he could. A few minutes later, he crossed the line to huge applause and the crowd shouting his name. But hey, look, far in the background, there's the hare and there's the tortoise. Oh, that was amazing. The hare had lost his own challenge. From now on, perhaps he wouldn't be so boastful. Slow and steady wins the race.